just give you a sum, right? And let me go backwards. Let me not talk about 2017. Let me just magnify the problem a bit. So, Moi to Kibaki, tax revenue 200 billion, debt 600 billion. So debt to tax 3 times. Kibaki to Uhuru, tax revenue he grew to 1 trillion. Debt 2 trillion. Ratio 1 to 2. So you have 2 times. So he reduced the ratio. Uhuru to Ruto, tax revenue 2 trillion. All right? So he doubled the tax revenue from Kibaki. Debt 9 trillion. So he takes it 4.5 times, even worse than Moi's time. All right?
Yep.
Today, as we are talking, revenue is estimated this financial year, at 2.6 trillion. All right?
Yep.
Okay? Debt is at 13. So we have gone to 5 times. 5 times. Okay? In the 3 years of William Ruto. Now, the key thing is how much of that revenue, because the laws are very clear, we pay our debt from our taxation.
Yeah.
So during Moi's time, out of every 100 shillings, 30 shillings was going to the payment of debt, of every 100. So he had 70 shillings to run government, do development, pay salaries, everything. Kibaki, by the time he handed over to Uhuru, of his 1 trillion and 2 trillion of debt, 18 shillings was going to debt payment. So he had 72 shillings that was actively running government operations. That's why people say that Kibaki's budget was debt-free.
Right.
Okay? Now, when Uhuru handed over to Ruto, 65 shillings, take note, from 18 of tax revenue was going to debt payments. So he's got no leeway to run government. So government started doing what is called borrowing for recurrent expenditure, to pay salaries, to pay counties, to run government operations, no more for development. Okay?
Yeah.
And that is illegal in our laws. Now, where we are this year, Jeff, 92 shillings of every 100 is going to the payment of debt.
8 bob left.
We are dying. So how is 8 bob left? So where does he get the rest? So what you're seeing government moving around with is borrowed money.
Yep.
Borrowed from our domestic sources, which is illegal because you're running now government, recurrent expenditure, on illegality. And you see, we believe it came to an end. So we believe they're actually printing now. It has come to an end, right? And I want to show you, and I'll show you, how they are unable to anchor it in the budget, in the revenue estimates. It doesn't exist. Domestic debt does not exist. It doesn't exist. It doesn't. Even this financial year coming, it does not exist. And I'll show you. So we are now the economy. And I can tell you, in as much as, yes, there's massive and rampant theft. Yes, there's inefficiencies of government. Yes, there's this. There's one overriding thing that every single person or anybody who sits on that chair is going to have. They are going to receive what is called the statement of government accounts, like your bank statement. And it is going to say, of all your collections, just like anything you may have, your bank account, your M-Pesa account, 90%, that will be the minimum. In fact, I think by that time it will reach 100% of your money that you're earning is going to one item called debt. What is the then? After William Ruto goes, how will people's lives change? Tell me. And the state, he's unable to solve this problem because he was part of creating it. He was part and parcel. Rotich, his CS, was his appointee. That was his appointee. I did the MOU between him and Uhuru. I personally drafted it. I still have the original. All right? And the two pillars of that MOU put Uhuru to be the one who decides security, and Ruto chooses the head of the treasury. He has been part and parcel of this. So he cannot revisit it. He cannot solve it either. Now, what we are proposing is very simply this, that we have that burden. We as Kenyans are not legally bound to it because we didn't approve it. Right?
Yeah.
We have no benefit from it. So, we are not going to pay it. And a president will read is that he has no revenue. 100% of your revenue, all your tax revenue, is going to pay debt. Whoever sits, if he doesn't do what I'm telling you of cancelling the debt, the first thing they are going to do is say, now we need to collect more taxes. And they'll start telling you William Ruto has stolen all the money or something like that. A lie. The problem is the debt. We are dying. So how is 8 bob left? So where does he get the rest? So what you're seeing government moving around with is borrowed money.
Yep.
Borrowed from our domestic sources, which is illegal because you're running now government, recurrent expenditure on illegality. And you see, we believe it came to an end. So we believe they're actually printing now. It has come to an end, right? And I want to show you, and I'll show you, how they are unable to anchor it in the budget. In the revenue estimates, it doesn't exist. Domestic debt does not exist. It doesn't exist. So SGR costed from Mombasa to Naivasha. 2 different contracts, both for the rail, right? Civil works, engineering, and the rolling stock. Costed 500 billion shillings. All right, Jeff?
Yep.
Are we on the same page?
Go together.
All right. The Chinese government tell us we will pay 90%, Kenya 10%. What is 90% of 500?
Let's say 400.
450.
450.
450. So Kenyans are to raise 50 billion. So we did an audit. These are government records. All right? Did the Chinese give us 450? Yes, we found it. We found the 450. Those were drawn down. So did Kenya pay the 10%, 50 billion? Let me tell you.
What are you saying?
You know how much we paid? It is an item called self-raising finance grant from the Treasury to Kenya Railways, right?
No.
Onward to a company called China Road and Bridge, which built. It wasn't 50 billion, Jeff. It wasn't even 100 billion.
Go on.
It wasn't 200 billion. It wasn't 300 billion. It was 644 billion. We paid as our 10%. So for a contract of 500, we paid 1.1 trillion.
Where did the rest go?
To somebody's pocket.
Who?
So understand that we built it ourselves.
Yes.
Then some.
Yes.
Yes. And we're still paying a loan. That loan we owe 300 billion shillings to at the moment. Okay. But we paid it from our own pockets.
Do you know these thieves?
They are the thieves who came and then built an expressway for 100 billion shillings.
Yes. Which is supposed to cost 66 or something.
No,
right?
it doesn't matter. It was a PPP. There's no government money in the expressway.
It was all PPP.
It's all a PPP. Apart from the services, right? Clearing and so on.
Drainage.
Drainage and the sewage and the electrical works, you know. Apart from that, there's no government money in the expressway. Whoever told you there was government money?
You think it's a private?
It was private money.
So it belongs to somebody.
China Road and Bridge, the same company that did the railway, is the one that invested in the expressway. 100 billion shillings. And then there's a company that collects the fees to recover that investment. So that has been a public record. So that is just laundering the same 600 billion that was taken from us.
And the company belongs to?
You know, it's the Kenyattas.
Come on.
I don't know what more to say. You see, I don't even want to get into that. My view is this. We are paying debts that we should not. So, Jeff, imagine if we don't pay them. Just imagine if we don't pay them. What kind of situation do we have in this country? So if we have 2.4 trillion for our use, right?
Yeah.
What is the cost of universal health care? It's 180 billion a year. So we can pay it without anybody paying SHA, SHIF, or whatever you want to call it. Your taxes that you're currently contributing will pay for you to have free health care. If you look at the cost of education, primary, capitation is 4,000. High school, capitation is 22,000. Tibet, another 22,000. Right? That costing is 265 billion. So we have 2.4 trillion. Allocate it. That's 500 billion of the 2.4. We are further saying that means nobody will line up for a bursary. Your kid goes to school and the fees are paid directly to that school. So if a teacher asks you, or a head teacher asks you for money, that is a criminal. Right? It's you not taking out money.
Yeah.
When you go to a hospital, you are not paying anything. You are appearing. Now let us debate thereafter, because you are not paying for medicine, you are not paying for surgery. Let us debate about quality and so on thereafter. Now let me go on. This is what 2.4 trillion. In March 2014, a constitutional sin was created. That sin went like this. There's an article in the Constitution, 206, that talks about the consolidated bank account, which is in central bank, receiving all the money of Kenya. All revenues, tax revenue, debt revenue, must enter that account. Your friend, and he comes on this show a lot, called Adan Duale. He was then majority leader. All right?
Yep.
Takes a bill to Parliament to amend the Public Finance Management Act, which just copy-pasted the Constitution about consolidated fund into Public Finance Management, which is a subsidiary legislature, statute law. It had copy-pasted in 2012. Okay? A simple, just the way the Constitution is. Duale goes to Parliament as majority leader and amends the Constitution through the Public Finance Management Act to say that monies do not have to go to the consolidated account. They fly all over the world. It can be anywhere if it is borrowed. Borrowed money can be anchored into any account in the world. The current CS, John Bandi, he was then minority leader, quickly seconds that amendment. That is where the constitutional sin begins. And immediately after that, the first Eurobond is taken with JP Morgan Chase. Yep. That Eurobond was $2 billion. And a man called Banan Dongo, who was the accountant general, who is today the head of accounting services, in the same treasury, he's still there, with his deputy, goes and opens an account in New York on behalf of Kenyans. All right? We, according to our laws, have approved one account. It's called the consolidated account.
Correct.
At Central Bank. These guys go and open another one in New York to say that is the one going to receive all these monies, 200 billion shillings, right, of a new loan. And the two of them are the ones to dispense it. That's what happened. They can dispense it as they wish, because the consolidated fund that is here, we had put controls. The controls are simply this. that any time you're going to remove any money from that account called consolidated, the controller of budget must approve. Okay?
Yep.
Because it must be to a budget item. Must be anchored towards what Parliament has passed is for expenditure in the budget. When you take it to another account, the controller of budget has no sight, has no authority.
So they can do whatever they want.
They can do whatever they want. The Auditor General has no audit site either, because they audit consolidated account, our central bank account. So they could do what they want. And I want you to imagine this, Jeff. 200 billion shillings. You know, government revenue does not come like that. It comes in tax revenue, little bit every day. When you get a loan, it's normally tied towards a project, right? So you bring a certificate, I have done so many kilometers of road, you get paid by the donor directly through the consolidated fund. So what is called a certificate is raised for that payment. This time, just cash, boop. There's never been anything so good. Just put in an account. What? They decided to do what they want. And I want you to understand, that was 2 billion. They took a total of $18 billion through that sort of scheme.
Dollars.
18 billion, my friend. That is what you're talking about. I can show you a ticket in August 2019. $5 billion in one day. Did you know about it?
No.
Yes.
In one day?
In one day. 500 billion. Forget what you saw is the SGR construction. 500 billion, just cash, one ticket from some organization here. Okay? Right? Called Trade Development Bank. One ticket, 4 tickets of $5 billion. August 2019. And you cannot attach it to the budget, right? You don't even know where it was taken, because it didn't enter consolidated fund.